Good morning. Happy, what is today? Thursday. Today's Thursday, the 21st. Nice. I have a court appearance first thing in the morning. And those of you who don't believe me, well, what do you think a lawyer does? What do you think family law? What do you think first-year family law attorneys do? Anyway, I just watched two Run CMT videos. There's a Rollin' and Strollin' Part 1 and a Rollin' and Strollin' Part 2. And I just want to say to Run CMT, I agree with you in Part 2 that the guy with the sign at the fair is a moron and an idiot. And I think Run CMT, I think you'll understand what I mean when I say I agree with you that that guy was a moron and an idiot. Your words, sir. Now, a couple things. Number one, I just want to remind everybody that I don't curate the comments in my videos. And if things get caught in the spam filter for being potentially hateful and abusive, I approve everything. I had 26 comments in my spam filter yesterday, and I approved every last one of them. And so, just a word of caution, if you are in my comment section suggesting that that the police should die or some other sort of nonsense, then it's not just me and YouTube that sees it, because I approve it. And if you don't think that police watch my channel, well, you are sorely mistaken, sir. There are indeed police who watch my channel. Police that I am aware of that watch my channel. Anyway, enjoy being on an FBI watch list. Just enjoy that. Fucking morons. Oh, you're on the police's side. No, I just gave you a warning to help you not be on a FBI watch list. Don't suggest that it is okay at all ever to kill police. Just don't. I mean, it's not good for you. Speaking of not good for you, it seems that people somehow thought my video yesterday was somehow in support of the police, because I suggested, number one, and you can go back and watch it, this is in there, that the officer who perjured himself on his affidavit should be criminally and civilly liable, and any officers who were complicit, who knowingly assisted him in his perjury, in procuring the warrant, etc., should also be held criminally and civilly liable. But I guess that means I support the police. And I think what they're taking that from, I do support the police when the police are right, by the way, and I support auditors when auditors are right. And yeah. But here's the funny thing. I have people arguing with me that it is somehow good and just to shoot at the police when the police enter on a warrant, no knock or otherwise. And yet, who ended up dead? It wasn't the police. 2 police officers were shot. That's unfortunate. 2 presumably innocent civilians died. That's a tragedy. I tell you not to resist arrest because you will get hurt. Because self-defense is it's a very limited defense. But it's a defense, and a defense means that you start off without it until you raise it. You have to raise it as a defense. That's why it's called a defense. And then once you've raised it, you have to prove it to whatever particular standard it is in your state, or whatever. It might be preponderance of the evidence, might be clear and convincing. You have to raise it to whatever required level before the burden shifts. Typically, I guess I'm assuming this, but my gut instinct is that the burden will shift back to the prosecution to overcome the defense. But the point is that you have to make an initial showing. You can't just say castle doctrine and drop the mic. You have to make an initial showing. In Texas, it requires that you reasonably believe that somebody's coming into your house to commit some like assault or like a sexual, what is it? It is murder, kidnapping, sexual assault, aggravated sexual assault, robbery, or aggravated robbery, I think is the list. And I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, it's going to be a difficult task for you to prove one of those things. Now, is it impossible? No. Is it unlikely? Oh, you better fucking believe it. It is in your best interest, not the cops. Well, I guess it's also in the cops' best interest, but they're not the ones who die. I mean, think about it. Think about it. Cops have a real distaste for being shot at. It's not going to make them reasonable. It's not going to make them want to sit down and have tea and what do they call those? Biscuits? Cookies, I guess, but call them biscuits, tea and biscuits, whatever. Or those little cucumber sandwiches thingy. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to want to sit down for that after you start popping off caps at them. They're going to shoot you. It is in your best interest to not shoot at them because they will shoot at you. Oh, they killed his dog. That's terrible. I feel worse for the dog than I do for the humans because unlike humans, dogs aren't assholes. But while it is unfortunate, that is what the legal and the civil processes are for. The civil process is to get you compensated, presumably with punitive damages, for what the corrupt, perjuring officers did. That's what the point of the civil process. The point of the criminal process is to punish them and to make an example of them. And you don't get shot at in civil court. You don't get shot at if they're the defendant in a criminal action. And before any of you knuckle dragging window lickers who think that the cops always protect themselves, before you knuckle draggers get going, according to the news reports I've seen, it was internal affairs that uncovered it was a perjured affidavit. Internal affairs. The police, whether you want to think so or not, are policing themselves. Internal affairs doesn't find that stuff unless they're investigating. And they certainly don't turn it over to the news unless they're sure of it and they're going to act on it. I mean, this is not, hey, one headlight. This isn't rocket science. So you could go back through all the arguments I made about not resisting arrest, how it is a losing proposition, and how hanging on to that 1 in a million chance that you win is a pretty ridiculous thing to do. Just like that, resisting the police if they're executing a warrant. Now, I know everybody's going to say, but the warrant was defective. You have no way of knowing that at the time the police are executing the warrant. You have no way of knowing that. When the police are executing the warrant is valid on its face until a judge says otherwise. A judge is the one who's going to have to rule that that warrant was not valid. That's what the courts are for. Until it is ruled to be invalid, all those cops are presumably acting in good faith. They're acting lawfully, I mean, the warrant process is in the U.S. Constitution. Fourth Amendment. And I had people in my Discord last night trying to up the standard by which warrants are procured. But the standards are set in the Constitution. It's the probable cause standard. The U.S. Constitution. Fourth Amendment. Probable cause. So we come back to the same thing that we've gone over multiple times. Is the system perfect? No, it's not. Could there be a better system? Possibly, but no one's figured it out so far. The standard that we have now is the one that we've had for a couple hundred years. And it's a pretty good standard. Is it perfect? No. Is there going to be abuse? Yes. Any system with humans in it is going to be flawed. But the right thing to do is to comply. Any evidence that those officers found would have been suppressed because the warrant was invalid. You have nothing to lose by just complying. Nothing to lose. Nothing to lose. By complying, letting the officers execute their warrant, and then challenging it on the back end. Nothing to lose. I mean, if they're going to shoot your dog, they're going to shoot your dog. And that sucks balls. But life isn't perfect. And if the warrant is invalid, then not only will any evidence be suppressed, but you can use that as evidence in your civil suit. I mean, come on, guys. That's your payday right there. Sucks to lose your dog to get it, but that's your payday right there. Anyway, thanks for watching. I've rambled long enough. I still love you, CMT. You're going to call me on the carpet. I'm going to call you on the carpet. Turnabout's fair play, buddy. Have a good day.